Right, so is this actually working? Yes, it is! Hooray! We've got the joys of me talking and playing this. Right, hold on, let me just change. Okay, we should be all ready to go for some more fun times with Phoenix Wright and his glorious wonders of trying to sort out the Turnabout Samurai. Our old friend Will Powers and trying to get him innocent along the way. Can we do it? Fingers crossed. Alright, let's go. Hopefully I can get this done. I may end up getting interrupted partway through. In which case I apologize, but yeah, I'm going to be busy tomorrow night, so I really wanted to get this out of the way now. Just in case. I mean, I already missed last week with being busy, so I didn't want to miss 2 weekends of this in a row. So excuse the noise. Right. So, Wright and Koloff, this is October 19th at 3:27 p.m. That was a close one, huh, Maya? Really, too bad. I'm sorry, I missed it. Maya! So, what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system and decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. I don't get it, man. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Huh? Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer is. What? Was Maya always this excitable? Yeah, she was, clearly. Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Maya is here. So no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP? WP Powers, right. This is Cody's. Hey, a digital camera! I'm impressed a kid like him would have something that's expensive. Kids these days... I don't imagine spirit mediums in training get a lot of toys. What do you think about this as the fanboy's testimony? Wow, impressive! It's a little different from the Steel Samurai on TV. These are mostly taken at those PR shows they do at stores and fairs. I'm pretty sure it's not even Will Powers inside that suit. No true fan would be satisfied with anything less than the real thing. He's still a child, I suppose. I guess it takes an adult to appreciate the real deal, right, Nick? Yeah. Whatever you say. I wish I had my own samurai spear. Just think I could poke you as much as I wanted. Hey, why me? Okay, let's go on and talk to Will Powers then. October 19th, the detention center, visitor's room. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today, thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only one day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Though there's not really anything I can do to help. Ha! I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manila? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows his name, Sal Manila. I hear he's pretty much at their beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though. I can't imagine him jumping. Don't know, accidentally pressed down twice somehow. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on the big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago? Okay. Have you seen this, Mr. Powers? What's that? I've never seen these Steel Samurais in my life. These are the Steel Samurais that appear at the live shows. A fanboy collected all these pictures himself. Seeing these things like this really makes me think. It means so much to these kids, you know? Well, I can't do that with my beard TX, you know that I've trimmed the beard, so that's not possible. Okay. Alright, let's go to the studio, I guess, and move on from there. Oh, hey, it's Old Bag! The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think our guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the gas station if we wanted. You eat, you die. Woo! She's alive! I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her, so she always gets her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. I could not, actually, it's just not possible. Also, welcome, by the way. Hopefully you're ready for your glorious weekend that you're about to start having. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal, he's stuffed, a pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Oh, why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No. No, it doesn't, Maya. About Mr. Hammer. I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you drag a star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this! Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Powers' costumes so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low, it's impossible. Okay, maybe she's not gonna react to any of this stuff. Maybe if I show her the picture again. Miss Oldbag? What? Get that filth out of my sight! And you're claiming that's poor old Hammer in there? And I thought you were such an innocent youth! Bah! Why do you want to try salmonella, actually? That's not how... No! No, you don't know! Okay, let's go outside Studio 1. October 19th, Studio 1 entrance. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. Okay. I guess Studio 1's on lockdown. Right. October 19th, Studio 2 entrance. Oh, look, it's D. D. D herself. D. Hey, Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello? Hi! H-E-L-L-O! But Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Okay, TXG, have fun. I don't know, we'll see. Soon as this, thing. At least you can watch this on your trip. Maybe. Excuse me, Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shh. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh, dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it! Nick, she did it! She's the killer! Miss Faye, or my Faye blood speaks to me! I know it! I know it! Oh dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer? By yourselves? Oh dear. Okay. She's literally not going to look at anything, is she? No. Okay. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, let's... Right, this is where Salmonella and D. Vasquez ate. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too! Is that anything wrong? I don't know, I'm getting this funny feeling. Something about this feels odd, you know? Yeah, I know. It's been obvious since day one, the lack of the T-bone of the steak. An incinerator, apparently they've just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. Okay. Slide over. I guess we'll go in and see if there's anything in the trailer. Right, October 19th, Studio 2 trailer. Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny, it still seems pretty messy in here. I guess she was still on a high from getting that rare card she needed. Alright. I'm gonna take it then that we have to move elsewhere, maybe outside the employee area, before we get to really talk to anyone else. Should we make gate? Right, employee area. October 19th, Global Studios employee area. I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you find that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there are any other clues lying around. Yarr! No touching. Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack. Heh. I guess I can be a little dramatic at times. I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatic indeed. Ahem. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. So you're looking for traces of sleeping pills? How? For a thorough examination, gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, it'll change colour. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Tecumseh, what are you waiting for? No, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution in the plate changed colour, alright. So the food in this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Steak plate added to the court record. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers. And some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing, anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth? Yeah, crushing paper cups. Bottles? Say, whatever happened with the empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means... Yep, it sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right! It's looking like willpowers are stroked. I'm going to go back to the precinct to do some more detailed tests. You're being very free with your information today, Detective. Well, don't go telling anyone this, pal. But I was kind of impressed at today's trial, too. Most lawyers would have given up after that director's testimony. I think if it had been anyone but you up there, Powers would be done for by now. Aw, Gumshoe's finally starting to like us. True friends. Okay, let's present the bottle and see what pops up. Detective, about that bottle. Oh, lad, talk about embarrassing, pal. I can't believe I missed that one on my first sweep for evidence. I don't know about how I can apologise to Mr. Edgeworth. Must be tough being a detective with all that responsibility. Oh, heh. Okay, go into the dresser and see if Salmonella pops. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But... this week is the last episode of The Steel Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the sealed camera costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh, I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt in him. He'd do anything, she said, apparently. Dirt? What dirt? Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new Studio 2. Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. Film set? That's a trailer part? Was that trailer part of the film set, then? Okay. Last episode. Well, what do you mean, the last samurai? Last Steel Samurai. I don't know, it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? Studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true! If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure! Nick, say something! Yeah! I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. Take that! And this is... A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay! But what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay! Here we go. Could you tell us about what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Mr. Hammer's fault. So, someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, The producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer. That's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do? But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Olbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know. Thanks, we'll try asking her. She'll talk. Okay. What, you're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer! It's all due to Hammer! She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance? I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Uh-oh. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols. That assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt in someone's past like that. And racing the party, no less. Don't you think this is fun? Excuse me, God, fucking old bag's voice is gonna kill me. No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Mr. Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume? I'm sorry, Mr. Bag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Oh, well, yes, so? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. Ha! I bet Powers put it in there himself. Even a lightweight like him must have trouble sleeping sometimes. Except I've proved it that Mr. Hammer put the pills in. This bottle contains sleeping pills. Mr. Hammer's fingerprints were found in the bottle. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Soul bag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Soul bag. You're right. 5 years ago there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the Mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, Pearl Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Soulbag? Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Soulbag. Here, take this. A photograph? Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Alright, that accident 5 years ago is what did him in. He wanted to hide it. He didn't want anyone to know. Poor silly old Hammer, if he'd just come out and confessed. Then Vasquez wouldn't have gotten her claws into him. Alright, let's go outside Studio 2, and she'll probably not want to talk about just watching the clouds anymore, where I present. Right. She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Aye, well... All back. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right. Anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. The... Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more, inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. Okay. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez? You were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids' shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident. But you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. No? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of his own accord. But you were the cause! You pressured him! And to think it was just an accident! Excuse me? What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think, what would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy, but he didn't. The only copy of that photo was the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys. Oh shit, here we go. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that, where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, race away. No! Hold it right there! I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry, I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Gumshoe? Thank you, thank you, thank you! I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. hold on. Okay, what about now? Is my mic working now? Hopefully it's working. Hello? Okay. Apologies, right, okay. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. Okay, to be continued, finally. Okay, we're on to the final court today, so hopefully we get to finish Case 3 today, and then probably be a couple of weeks before we get back to Case 4. Let's see your progress up to this point. Okay. October 20th, 10 AM, the District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for the case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on the people present in Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present at the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. You must pontificate. Do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her own pants down, so to speak. I entered the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I had T-bone steaks at the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with that monkey's head toppling over. And van added to the court record. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Okay, we'll press her on pretty much everything. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Does no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. Same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging your little desk, it hurts my ears. Poor Edgeworth. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. She committed murder during that break. She wouldn't have turned down to eat a T-bone steak. But I was pretty sure she didn't eat that steak. Oh, Nick, find anything? Alright. Okay, I'm gonna present the plates. Because it'll mention that there's a large bone and she didn't have a large bone, hopefully. Hopefully. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. Well, what's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table at the employee area. As you can see, a large T-bone, or a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need to remind you it was a T-bone steak. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at the table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during the lunch. You took your steak and threw it somewhere like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during our break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright! Isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You can say I did it? Or say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? Yeah, you couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing in this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not the weapon used as... was not used as a murder weapon. I don't have the picture anymore from the 5-year-old. Right, men with duct tape, maybe? I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through, but but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this? Through the chest? Order, order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what murder weapon was used to kill Hammer? Would I make a claim that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your comment is going to sometimes be unfair, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Right. Present the picture, and I'm going to guess that she killed him with the fence. Look at this photo. And what is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order, order. If I cannot have order, this trial must be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate incident at Globo Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a closed, kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago? It's happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside a Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. No, it's the victim, Mr. Hammer. He died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago! Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found in Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? Break in the meeting lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death and carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could it, She had another way. Well, she had another way to carry the body all in her own hands. For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. So, right, please show us how she carried the body, right? The van. It seems so obvious. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had to take Sal to take me. There was a van right there. Well, there was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, right? Don't forget, it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Salmonella was a conspirator? Of course he was, of course he wasn't. Of course, someone else has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put in the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need, you're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. I win? So, what happens next? Don't... Me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean Divaska, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did, Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Mr. Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is not a thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. Oh, what? What? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? I want to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. Damn! To come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Oh, Edgeworth, you beautiful bastard. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to put a question while I was objectifying, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well. Your Honor! I request that the witness testify again. You're the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you begrudging or badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have to do anything again by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth? I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verify, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But wasn't he the one that said he always gets the guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth. I was with Sal and Oldback, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldback, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She'd be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. Okay, let's just go through this again and, Okay, we'll start pressing now. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you, Mr. Manila, arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent, so we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence, dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the Shield Samurai. Did the detectives arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. A photograph, meaning the one taken with a security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in the meeting. There was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. I must have been writing... I'm back to the trailer to get my script directions. Script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? It was a murder, after all. You could think of rehearsing after that. Objection! Yeah. She knew about the murder before... thing. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, what you've just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe, well, Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you must have understood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. I'm gonna press her on that. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal, he told me. Sal, the director. You knew that Hammer was injured? Hammer. Hammer! Hammer! Oh my god, yeah, not fucking Powers. She knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? I didn't even notice that. That was a lucky fucking objection. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer's dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the morning run through that morning, and that person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez? Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, and when he was doing this, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume. Went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order, I will have order. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well, I have a question for you. Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen in hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death, nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say in this matter? In other words, can you appreciate a motive? Okay, I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present it to the court. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial that began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We aren't talking about motives here. Yeah, you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if Mr. Hammer... It was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I'm never to get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. She had no motive, maybe? She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drug Mr. Powers sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone called an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What happened to her? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No. How could this... It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I'll lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about another miracle. Yeah, another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think no, Your Honor. Will Powers is innocent. That he should be found, so it's only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Woo, we did it. That is all. This court is adjourned. Right, October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Right, Mr. Hammer wants to blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show, and it's the villain to boot. The kids loved Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you, I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick, Edgeworth. Say something right. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't want anything clothing, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have got away if you hadn't stepped in. Ah, pleased to meet you, I'm Powers. Or Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right? I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Like you, I have still unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Okay, Edgeworth, you fucking weirdo. Mr. Wright, was that guy your friend? What, friends? As if. They're rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's to do with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that action from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. And there we go. We've reached the end of the case. And thus the end of the stream. Okay. And we've unlocked Tournament 4. Turnabout goodbyes. Okay. Let's save progress. Okay, we are done. We will get around to case 4 in a couple of weeks, I think. At the latest. Yeah. I have some plans to do some like sports games, streaming and racing games now over the next couple of weeks, so you know, we'll fuck around with that. Maybe we'll do some other stuff. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and it's been fun. Again, another one, another trip. Yeah, that was a good case. This is why we didn't hear more from Old Bag, but, you know, hopefully again one day. We'll see. Alright, bye!